this is Robin. Welcome to mypinkstamper.com. Today I have a simple thank you card that I want to share with you today using one of my most favorite and well-loved stamp sets called Love What You Do. This can be found in our current annual catalog. And I'm also using some fun paper that goes along with this stamp set. Okay, so we will jump right in. If you have any questions about what I'm using or the sizes I'm cutting my paper, I have it on the screen for you, along with the item code. You can find everything directly on my shopping page at mypinkstamper.stampinup.net. So this is going to be a super quick card, and we will start with our Big Shot work first. So I'm using the Stampin' Up! Big Shot right here. And this is wonderful for cutting out our coordinating framelits, our thinlits, and our edgelets, that some of them actually coordinate directly with the stamp set, and some of them are just shapes or for edges or backgrounds. The two framelits that I'm using today are for just frames to go around images. So I'm using our stitched shaped framelits first with our Whisper White cardstock. This is just a little scrap piece. And I love the stitched shapes because they come in a package with squares and ovals as well as circles, different sizes. There's 4 sizes for each shape. So I'm going to run that through. And this is my most well-loved framelit set that I own. I absolutely love it. You get the little stitches. Do you see that? So cute. Okay, so I will set that aside. The next thing I'm using is a piece of our Pear Pizzazz cardstock. Our cardstock comes in 8.5 by 11 sheets, and you can get them in the assorted pack with the color family, or you can get them in the package of 24 for each color, which I prefer to do because I like to make a lot of the same cards when I'm making one design. I usually make 4 to 8 of the same design. Now I'm using our layering circles, which comes with smooth circles as well as scallop circles. And I'm just going to put that right on there and run this through. And that is all of the Big Shot work I am doing today on this card. Now this is a design that I made for some of my amazing customers. So if you ordered in the month of November, this may be the card that you receive in the mail. I like to give all of my customers a hand-stamped thank you card that I've designed and stamped myself. All right. I'm going to grab a piece of background paper, and I'm using our Stampin' Grid paper right here. I'll just set this on the side, and we'll do our stamping next. I'm going to be stamping on the oval, and I'm also going to be stamping on this piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I am using the stamp set, like I said, I'm using Love What You Do. The 3 stamps that I'm using from this set are the thank you, because I'm making thank you cards. And then I'm also using this set of 3 flowers, as well as this little background image. I've used this stamp with the larger background, and this time I'm going to use it with the smaller one. I'm going to be using the Pear Pizzazz ink pad, and I'm just going to simply be inking this up. And this stamp set is one of our photopolymer stamp sets, so you can see through it. And mine's all stained up and loved because I use it a lot, and that's totally fine. It doesn't affect how your stamp stamps. And I'm going to stamp it in the bottom right corner of my Whisper White cardstock. So I'm going to set that aside. It's all ready for my card. And now I'm going to put the Pear Pizzazz ink away, and I'm going to pull out Tranquil Tide, and I'm going to pull out my background paper. So here's the Tranquil Tide ink pad. It's one of our ink colors from last year. It's just an exclusive color that we only have for 2 years at a time. I'm going to stamp up the flowers, the 3 set of flowers, and I'm going to just stamp it right on here. And the reason I have a background is because a little bit of it will stamp off. Now I'm going to take this little background, and I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to stamp off And then I'm just going to stamp a little bit right there. Do the same thing, it just adds a little bit of touch of a color. I think I have a piece of, I did have a piece of paper on there. Oops. Okay, sorry. And I'm going to do the same thing. Ta-da! And I have ink everywhere, which is a true sign of a stamper. All right, so now we can put this card together. It's like I said, it's super simple, and sometimes, super simple sometimes, you want to make quick cards, especially for occasions, or I mean, my daughter has a wedding coming up, so we're going to be making super simple wedding cards for her guests that get her a gift, and so I'm not going to make those super elaborate, but this is just to give you some ideas. This is a piece of our Tranquil Tide cardstock, and it's cut at 5.5 inches by 8.5, which means you can get 2 card bases from 1 sheet of our cardstock. So if you got a whole pack of this Tranquil Tide, you could make 48 card bases from it. Okay, so I'm going to take this here, set this aside. Now I'm using the Share What You Love or something. I'll have the name of it on the screen because I can't remember right now. This is our beautiful designer series paper. I love this stack. It's super huge. You get so many different designs, and it's actually, do you see how it's like shimmering? It's got some texture on it, some shimmer and shine. And this little piece is cut at 1 3/4, and it's cut by, it's 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. And I'm going to take some of our snail adhesive. This is our snail adhesive. And I'm just going to run a couple strips down it. I'm pretty generous with my adhesive just because I want it to stay nice and sticky and last a long time for my friends and family and my customers. Okay, so I'm just going to add that piece right here. Sometimes when you just add a piece of designer series paper, it just gives it that much more of a pop, and it just helps a simple card become more extravagant, and it adds just beauty to it. Okay, so we're going to add this on, and I did a nice big and thick layer. So by cutting this at 3 3/4 by 5 inches, instead of normally I do 4 inches by 5 1/4, it gives me just a very thick border, and I really like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our circle, put some of our snail on the back, and we're going to add this onto our pear scallop circle that we did. And now I'm going to take some of our rhinestones. I love to add rhinestones and our pearls to everything pretty much. If you've taken one of my online classes, we use a lot of the rhinestones. I just love them so much. So I'm just going to add one on each of these flowers right here at the base. It just adds a little sparkle and bling, and it didn't take me very long to do. I can whip those out too as well. And now I'm using our Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just going to use 3 for this size. Kind of have them in a little triangle formation. And here we go. I have a beautiful simple card. And here's another one to just show you how easy it is. I usually do my cards in 4, 8, or 12, sometimes 20 of the same exact design. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're not a subscriber yet and you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find more tutorials and just everyday crafting on mypinkstamper.com. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.